Hey, what is happening everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out and reviewing this multi-purpose desk from Aventry, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So what we have here is a $50 multi-purpose desk that you can use for your bed, your couch, or even as a standing table, which is actually pretty nice. That being said, I've had this thing for about 5 months now, so I've got a good chance to test it out, especially with a solid month of gaming. So with that being said, let's take a closer look, see how it held up, and how my experience has been with it. So let's jump in. Alright, so out of the box you'll find 3 things. You'll find the table itself that is folded up, the detachable safety rail, as well as this wrist rest. Now if we go in and flip it over, we can take a look at the mechanism that actually holds this thing in place. And as you can see, each piece is made out of 4 aluminum rods, 1, 2, 3, and the retractable one right down here. And to set it up, you simply just open it up like so, and it stays in place. That being said, these legs have actually kept their function since day 1, which is pretty nice. When you actually go in and fold them down, they're not going to go flopping anywhere. And no, I did not tighten any of the screws. So for 5 months use, not bad at all. And really there isn't any issues with this thing so far. So the legs here actually have 3 main functions. The folding function, the height adjustability, which is pretty simple using this button, as well as the tilt function. We can go ahead and open that up, and then you can go ahead and set up your adjustability and lock it back in place like so. So let's go and flip it over and quickly measure the height for the lowest point, which is 9.5 inches, with the maximum height being around 12 inches. So anyways, let's go and talk about the attachments. Starting off with the safety rail. The safety rail here simply slides into here. It's pretty stable, it's not going anywhere. Now the use case for the safety rail here is actually when you have the tilt function engaged. If you have a laptop or a textbook that might slide off, when you go in and tilt the table forward, then this thing will stop it in place and not fall onto you or ruin whatever you're working on. It's pretty useful. In my experience, most of the time I actually had it off because I didn't tilt very much. And maybe I did tilt. Funny joke, hey. But anyways, when it comes to the wrist rest, it's actually pretty nice. It's a solid plastic core with a nice soft rubber sleeve. And again, that can be clipped right in there. Slap your mouse, and it's going to be a pretty comfortable experience overall. That being said, since we're on the highest option right here, let's go ahead and test out the stability, because of course this thing is on 2 legs, and with something of course on 2 legs that is $50, you can expect some wobble, and that's very normal. And in my experience, didn't have an issue with it. Just make sure you don't eat or drink on the setup, because of course something like this is going to definitely slide around, and you're going to spill a lot of water, you're going to spill your food, and you're not going to have a great time. Either way, if your setup is not wobbling, you might accidentally kick this thing while you're in your bed, and you're not going to have a great time. But if you have something that's sealed, then you should be good to go. Not only that, but of course, if you have anything that is moist, if it's cold, if you have any water droplets on this thing, then you could probably expect some future bubbling, maybe later on. Even though the top layer is made out of plastic or acrylic, the water here can actually seep in from these ends and enter the compressed material. So you want to make sure you wipe it off right away when you have something like this, because you could leave it overnight and it might wake up with a big fat blob in whatever the water was. I've had this issue with IKEA tables, and that's very normal. So it's something to be expected and that you should be aware of. Drop the table to the lowest option. And now what you're looking at here is a 15.6-inch laptop that I've used for gaming while in bed using this table. So this is pretty much the setup that I've used for about a month, playing Divinity Original Sin 2 and finishing the game in this type of format. I had this exact same mouse, a small mouse pad, and the laptop plugged into a wall, and here's how my experience has been with it. Occasionally I would like to actually tilt this thing, and I would have it around 1 tick, and that's what 1 tick looks like. The screen would be elevated, and the typing experience feels pretty nice. Except of course your mouse here is going to slide around, so that is to be expected. You're tilting the table, of course. You're going to be holding it with your hand, and the wrist rest here is made out of rubber, so it's not going to damage your mouse when it falls. So can you do some gaming on this thing? Yes, you can definitely do so, and of course it's going to be a pretty nice experience. Did it warp? Well, not really. It's a very slight warpage, not even noticeable at this point. Speaking of weight, this thing is actually pretty stable. Let's take this laptop off. As you can see, this thing can actually hold up a whole lot of weight, and it's actually pretty stable. I'm putting a lot of weight on one side, and only now it's kind of tilting on the back side. This thing can definitely take a beating, and I've actually dropped it a couple times, and overall nothing broke. It's still solid, same as day 1, which is pretty cool. So what would happen is I would finish gaming, I would take this desk, put it on the side of my bed, and put my phone on it, my laptop, and whatever I have on my hand. I'll be in bed browsing some memes, and I can just drop the phone and go to sleep. So honestly, it's a pretty nice table. It's $50, and the prices of course will be on the screen. But other than that, that is actually pretty much of this video. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. And other than that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.